some of these questions, right? Trying to go into this one. But it looks like the Bannon pick is about to start. We're going to go into game 2. Of course, this is SHREW Esports and Fearless Esports. Fearless Esports strike first. They get that first win against SHREW Esports. And now we see some vulnerability from this team.
Yeah, you know what? I think, honestly, I would consider the Hano as one of the potential picks for the start of BSC because Hano is a hero. The way he has built the compatibility with the team, he slows down fights, he drags fights out, which then gives you more time to think, gives you more space to breathe, and finally deal that killing blow. But hey, it is their choice. Right now, BSC is going to be second pick for the second game.
Yeah, second and third. I mean, I like going in with, you know, like a little bit of a combination, like the two, like Lady Su Ming, you know, things that kind of like work well together, like Angela modes maybe.
Counter pick.
Yeah, counter pick is obviously important, but I mean, if you know the Dahlia will be first picked, like you got to come in with some sort of package, right?
So it looks like BSC is thinking about the Ogren Lady Jun. Okay, so is this the package you're looking for?
This is the package that I'm looking for. Ogren and Lady Jun, both very meta picks. They work well with one another, where Ogren is going in and out. Lady Jun kind of controls them with the Ocean and Tears. You have a lot of synergy between these two.
Okay, I just want to highlight this particular thing. Musan King is known for his godlike Ogren, but Dao Dao, we have seen him on this Musashi, is also one of his signature picks. I like the fact that we get to see both of the #1 heroes go up against each other.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one here, right? I mean, with that nice counter pick going into this, but it looks like BSC are going to just finish the first phase of the pick with a Byron pick. Your thoughts on that one?
I think it's good, right? Simply because Dharma has been taken out, and we have to consider the different phases of the game. First part of the game, we're looking at the laning phases. You want a beast in the laning phases, and Byron is one of those heroes that really just smack the opponent out of lane.
Okay. But like for Fearless Esports now, how did they? What is the counter to the Byron?
I think at this point, they can leave their options open, right? I think they will want to focus more on the mid laner first. Let's fix this Lady Jun first.
Okay. And do you think it's just going to be like Princess? Oh, Princess Frost has been banned. Okay, but the Zhang Fei is going to be picked up by BSC. A little bit more about that team fight. Having control is also going to be great. I mean, Musashi, once he dives on to your Ogren, potentially, you're going to have a bad time. So you need a way to kind of counter-initiate. I think it rounds it out, and it does protect some of the more vulnerable heroes on BSC.
Yeah, right now I'm just reconsidering, right? Is Angela something that's viable for this side of Fearless Esports? Because I was thinking Ganemo, but Ganemo is very susceptible to burst, and Byron offers so much burst. Organ damage over time is great, but yeah, it's the Byron that worries me a lot. And Xiang, it's one of the strongest Byrons in this competition.
Yeah, he's very good on that hero, and you got to respect it, but it looks like they're going to go with the Angela and the Mayin. So you have, you know, you were talking about how the Angela might be able to just kind of keep people afar, but you also have the Mayin to kind of go in with the Musashi to kind of control people, get onto that Lady Jun, who's going to be doing a bunch of damage from the back lines.
Okay, so now we're left with the farm lane for the start of BSC. We have huge bursts in the form of Lady Sun. Definitely going to be protected, right, because of the wave breaker as well. And it looks like they want to go with the Lung. Okay, big question here. BSC, I like the fact they can enter into fights with the Ogren, but can they provide space for this Lung to really just get the, you know, riding the wind, flaming palms into the picture? Because the range, he seems to be outranged here.
Yeah, it's going to be, that is going to be a potential problem, I think. But we got to rely on Musan King. I mean, he's the king for a reason, right? On this Ogren, I think he's going to pilot to perfection. We're going to have to see. Because, again, this is they're in Game 2. They lose this game. I mean, technically, they're going to lose the series. I mean, obviously, it's not going to affect too much. They're going to be the second seed of Group D, but we're going to find out how this one plays out.
Okay, so one of the things that I learned from the Alpha 7 coach yesterday was that actually, when you're a professional team, one of the things you're looking forward to, in scrims at least, is to lose, because you want to find out where the gaps are. So actually, while yes, they have lost the game, BSC, I don't think they're too unhappy with this, because now it exposes certain gaps they have, and there's still a long way into the grand finals of this competition, meaning they have time to fix those mistakes.
True. And it looks like, I mean, this is a draft that I'm not too surprised by BSC. Like, they're playing to their, you know, to their limits. I mean, they're going all in with some of their best heroes moving forward. really testing it, right? I don't think that they're going in and be like, we don't really care about the series and all that. They're actually trying on this one, and I think it's going to be super exciting because Fearless Esports, how do they counter this one and how do they play on? I think both of these teams are going to really look at this one as a lot of learnings and to see exactly how the enemy team is going to counter certain heroes.
Yeah, because you don't want to be blindsided, right? If you take a look at the draft, I think it's pretty apparent that the BSE draft is a much tankier, much more survivable roster. They have the shield values from the Zhang Fei coming in with the Leaping Savior as well. And if he does choose to go with Redemption, that's going to be even more difficult for the side of Fearless Esports to kind of break their ranks, right? But, you know, we know the traditions of the Zhang Fei. He is probably going to go with the Radiance as well because he already has a lot of health.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of health. He's going to stand up in front. And, I mean, if he's able to get to that back line or just kind of protect his team from, like, the Musashi and the Mayin, I think that they're going to be in a decent spot. I think there's going to be a little pressure on to make sure that he goes in at the right time. He has that nice unbridled outburst, so it's going to be super important for him.
Yeah, and this could be the potential turnaround, right? Because it was BSC that had the confidence, but that confidence quickly turned into fear when they attempted to dive in that first level 4 attempt, right? And I feel like Fearless Esports at this point are kind of dancing around on that edge as well. If they make the mistake of overcommitting too early, BSC is going to take this game for sure.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, it's just like a simple, like, because they're, okay, because I look at this as more of like, which of the two lineups is actually easier to play? And I feel like the Fearless Esports is a little bit more difficult, right? So if you get like a single pick off on that, you really can't fight.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Fearless Esports, they have my vote. They have taken one game and they have made me correct, so I trust in them as well.
All right. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes, and I think they just had... I'm not underselling what Fearless Esports did. They had a great game one, right? They really stuck it to Black SHREW Esports. I was actually very impressed by their game.
You can find him at Holler TV.
Hey, a broken clock's right 2 times a day, right?
Oh my, the gas is in the air again.
You kind of got off the fence when you said that.
No, yeah, I put my foot down onto the lawn. I was like, hey, no, not Mr. 2-1 here.
Yeah, and I expected to go to game 3, right? I think even with this draft, you think it's important. You think Fearless Esports is just going to 2-0 them here?
Oh, I see what you're doing here. Okay, no. I'm escaping that trap here. I have been doing this with you for years. I know what's going on here.
Okay. I've gone to the well too many times on that one. So, but okay, let's see exactly how they want to play this one out. I think that's going into this game. Obviously, once we do resume this one, it's going to be super important, right? I think that Fearless Esports, if they 2-0 Black SHREW Esports, this would be the ultimate confidence boost for this team.
Yeah, but it's also putting Fearless Esports at a difficult position because now all of the other teams have additional materials to research into their lineup and the roster, right? So it makes things interesting. I mean, I don't feel stressed. I love it because now we get back and forth games. Now, big thing here for the side of BSC, I'm just curious whether Musang King will go for that level 1 invade. We all know how strong Ogren is. Maybe not as strong as the World Cup edition, right? There's been a few patches in between them, but he's still strong enough to take a lead, especially when there's backup.
But, you know, it's funny that you say that, because I was thinking that they would do it, and it seems to be something that they like to pull out in Game 2, where they try to go for the invade, especially with the Ogren. So it's one of those things where, hey, Fearless Esports have definitely done their homework. They know these tendencies as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to be well prepared for this.
Yeah, and I think if we take a look on the past few games that BSE had, actually quite a few of their level 1 invades or early invasions have been, just fallen flat on the floor.
Yeah, they haven't been great, for sure.
Yeah.
But all right, it looks like the game is underway. This is, of course, the second match, the second game. Fearless Esports took out BSE in that first one in a nail-biter that went the distance. It was 20-plus minutes. But Fearless Esports looking to close out the series against BSE.
Yep, and straight away, I like this those little nuances that they like to do, right? So with the Barrage, it helps to clear the lane faster. KK gets one entire wave. Now he gets to go down and funnel the second wave into his hands as well. So very good balance of where they can get the lead started.
Yeah, and starting it strong. I mean, it answers our question. It doesn't look like, BSE want to do any sort of invade. They're going to play a little bit more traditional in that sense of just letting Musang King make his way around his own jungle. Nothing too different, I would say. But Fearless Esports right now have a, I would say that it's pretty neck and neck at this point.
Yeah, slight advantage for Xiang here, though. He does have the EXP advantage.
Slight. He's doing some damage on the Xinglin, who has to heal. He's going to back off and just lounge on that chair for now. The Mayan special brought a lunch back. But okay, Musang King versus this Dao Musashi. We talked about how they're both on their best heroes. The Musashi just completely counters the Auguring. So, like, what does Musang King need to do to kind of deal with this? The fact that he's going up against the hero counter.
He needs to have the level of advantage. That's the main thing. Oh, the stun comes in, but I don't think he's going to die here. The support on the side of BSC is also going to be the game changer, right? So we know that if you can outlast the Empire Outstate from the duel to the death, you do get all of that lost health back. Yeah. So it's really important that BSC plays around this particular activity.
Okay. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, Musang King, again, like BSC, their MO has always been let Musang King be the king. Let him just get as much farm as possible, just completely take over the game, and just let him do his damage. So they're kind of sticking to it. I think Fable has been, more active and putting a lot of pressure in the other lanes.
Yeah, he has, right? And so far it's been working out great because the only lane that is in favor of BSC is the Clash lane. Only Xiang has the level advantage.
Yeah, Xiang doing quite well. I mean, this against his Jingling, look, I like both of these Clash laners. I think that they're obviously top tier, but he does have a slight advantage. Which is, I feel like Xiang, he's just so good on the Byron, though.
Yeah. Okay, but you know what? Even though they have the EXP advantage, goal advantage is still actually going over to BSC. So they have that going for them as well.
Yeah. It's all about the gold, right? The money, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about your experience. I care about your money. Yeah, that sounds weird.
Okay, well, nonetheless, I mean, money is important, and resources are definitely important in getting yourself ahead in this game, right? For HOK. Now, this lead is nothing too monstrous. It's about what? Less than 700 gold?
Yeah, it's a bit of a wash, right? Nothing too crazy. I mean, nobody's really... I mean, until that first blood happens, I would think that they're going to be very close. There's not going to be any huge advantages going into this one. But I think that, again, Dao, Musang King with a slight level advantage right now. And compounding that network lead that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and if you take a look at how these players are rotating in position, they absolutely understand the rotations and potential invasion timings coming in. So far, both teams have been very successful in guarding their camps. But right as I say that, Musang King gets one.
Yeah, he's going to take this one up. And just again, BSC doing a great job of just funneling all the farm to Musang King. Even Ji-Hong is just like, hey, you take it, brother. You just carry this game. You make sure you put our team on your back, and just kind of take over the game. And this is going to be a huge one. The 4-minute mark, the Tyrant, the first one, Musang King already in.
No steam coming out. That would have been a miracle from KK.
Yeah. The chances of that would have been very slim, or very lucky in that case.
Hey, if King can do it on his Gun Mo, KK can do it on this lady sub.
Nah, our opponents are just weaker.
All right, it looks like, no, but I think Kin is just a stronger player than KK for sure, right?
Oh, gaslight.
All right, but Fearless Esports still fighting neck and neck. The Tyrant has been down. It's still 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but KK's done a good job of taking that tower at bottom T1, kind of opens up the map a little bit. It's not the most, but it's definitely a great start for them.
And that's so crazy, right? Because as a team that takes the first neutral objective, you expect them to have a little bit more map control, but it is actually Fearless Esports that takes the first T1 in the farm lane out of all the lanes.
Yeah, it's going to be good for them. I mean, KK and Woodwind can now kind of move around a little bit. They're going to put a little bit of pressure. Now they're invading the jungle a bit, so Musang King has to kind of react to this. It looks like he's going to make his way to the top lane, so you got to watch where he goes.
Yeah, Fearless Esports not really playing like a team that's behind on gold, right? In fact, BSC feels like they're playing a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, definitely more cautious. I mean, it's still very close. The people are off the map. They don't really know where BSC is. I mean, they're kind of grouped up in the mid lane now, so they have shown. But the Blazing Brilliance does a little bit of work on the Musang King. He takes that tan, and he's going to make his way to the top lane.
Oh, Xinling almost catching out JR there. Not enough to actually make a difference, but there we are. Xiang playing a little bit of the macro play using the teleport mechanic to stop that barrage onto that tier 2 into the farm lane. It's quite a throw up here, right? Because I mean, KK and JR. JR's normally that macro playing farm laner, but KK just playing it more effectively because he's focus that farm lane, and now JR can't be safe there.
I mean, it starts with that tower, right? They put a lot of focus on it, making sure that KK had that space. They took it out. Now he's going to kind of free farm, and Xiang actually had to make the rotation. He's going to be in the bottom lane now to kind of deal with this. And JR in the top, again, just trying to find as much farm as possible. If we're talking about net worth, I think it's going to be very close, but now KK has a small level advantage.
Okay, so level advantage, and one more thing I want to point out to you. Musang King just recently hit level 10. Dao Dao has been 10 for quite a bit already. So we were talking about that, hey, Musang King actually going to be countered by Dao Dao's Musashi pick. And so far, this is why they're not taking two fights on the side of
Dao Dao going in. Oh, the duel adept does come through onto the Orgrin, and he gets it back up again thanks to Celestial ability just to keep away Byron from dashing into anybody in the backline. Woodwind is still safe for now. Xinglin is behind, so they do have some support.
Yep, such a smart move, right? It felt like they were going to engage, and BSC pick another L in the jungle camp.
Yeah, I mean, they stole it, right? That's what they need. Actually, KK actually picks up that blue. So just really smart rotation, good gank attempt. And again, take any sort of buff away from Musang King, just slows him down. And that's kind of what Fearless Esports want to do, is just limit his farm as much as possible.
Yeah, Xingling at this point now is actually in danger, and you can see, right? Fearless Esports, they understand that BSC is making this move. Look at the positioning of Fearless Esports. This could be the open market for them to turn the fight against BSC.
Yeah, but it looks like BSC right now, they'll just kind of group up together. They don't need to force anything. I mean, they have again, network lead is in their advantage. The minions will push here. But look, with the bottom T1s on both sides out, I think that there's going to be a little bit of space to make some waves in the other lanes.
Yeah, this could be...
So much damage onto Jett there, right? I mean, the Chaos Cinders, the Blazing Brilliance. I've really got to watch out for this Angela. Not a lot of teams have been picking the Angela, but recently, in the past 2 days, she has been coming out along the court.
Easier to execute, I think.
Yeah, easy to execute, but I feel like there are times where she's so vulnerable, especially against like in a lane. We've seen like her worst games is when it's up against a lane. But in this one, BSC don't really have that type where they can jump on you. So it might be a little bit better for Fable to kind of just be able to just, you know, shoot out those Chaos Cinders and Blazing Brilliance from afar.
Yeah, and once again, they're going to secure the Tyrant for themselves. And, you know, with the Fog of War, you can actually see, right, Fearless Esports, they understand the vision that is available to BSE so well. And as BSE, you know, you're kind of forced into situations where you walk blindly into the near the brushes, and you're going to get caught blindsided. They've been caught so many times, just that nobody has been killed just yet.
Yeah. Lucky, I'm not entirely sure, but they've definitely done a great job. Fearless Esports have done a great job of just setting up ambushes, understanding and like kind of predicting enemy movement, like somebody's going to be coming. So I know I'm going to be able to get some sort of damage onto him. And Jay has kind of been that forward scout. Unfortunately, the job sucks, but he's taken a decent amount of damage, but he has survived.
Yeah, Xingling sees all of this. So BSC, they're taking a huge risk right now. But I think like Dao Dao says, we can contest this because they still have the primal bond, right? So right now, again, they're going back and forth. Nobody truly has the advantage at this point.
I mean, look.
Oh, the Unbridled Outrage. Is it going to actually be followed up by anything else? I mean, they may just look here for the T1 in the mid lane, right? But hey, what a great defense by Fearless Esports, able to just drive them away. But what they got to look out for is that T2 down in the farm lane. It's already got a lot of minions there.
Exactly. That's a subtle place, right? This is how the higher quality teams like to play.
Yeah, higher quality, definitely. I mean, it's almost 10 minutes and not a single kill. I feel like I'm watching a game of football.
What was that? Is that an aim at me because I'm British? But yeah, you're right. It's like, but I want to go back to the point I was making in the post game. There's a lot of respect here. That's why there's no kills on the board. It's just like they're paying respect to each other. They know that they are very knowledgeable and they have to take their fights very strategically.
Yeah, and also the positioning has been great on both sides. Nobody's actually getting out of position where they kind of, you know, like happen to just get picked off, but this is going to be close here.
Yes, this could be a pop-off here for them. It is Dao Dao that does get the neutral objective, but oh, Xiang into the back with the Unbridled Outrage, as well as the Flaming Palms coming through from the loop, using the Infinite Fastness to get out of there. That is going in the favor of BSC. 2-0 trade for now. KK, Woodwind, and Xingling on the run.
Great start, great fight, great everything on that one for BSE. Turning that fight around, getting those 2 pickoffs. Started off on Dao and Fable. I mean, those are the 2 big damage dealers. And now look at BSE going from one neutral objective to the next.
Yep, and this is why this team is so scary, right? Give them one advantage. They take a turret, they take one of the couple of kills backlines.
Oops, yeah, and he's just using it as they've just been there. It's like, hey, stay away from that neutral objective. We want this one. We're going to take it for ourselves.
Yep, so they zone everyone out, and all of a sudden, the game is flipped on its head. And it's a 2,000 goal lead for the side of BSE, and the map is fully in their control.
Yeah, fully in control. Now these Vanguards are going to further push it along. That map control is going to be even greater for BSE. Now they're in the driver's seat. How do they play with this lead? I mean, Xiang has just been this menace up in the top lane, in the Clash lane area. He's got a level advantage, and gold diff almost 1K, so Xiang has just been really just paying off in space.
Oh, the Ride the Wind does stop Xingling for now and does a lot of damage also with the Flaming Palms. The Unbridled Outburst comes through once more from Jet. They are on the run. They're trying to force them into a team fight here. We have Musang King coming in from the side as well, but they know Fearless Esports are just going to go back to safety.
Yeah, what a great fight. I mean, you started out, yeah, they didn't get anything, but this is creating space elsewhere. The Vanguard is pushing in the bottom. The T2 has been taking some damage, so it's just like, hey, look at me, look at my right hand, but it's actually the real fight is in the left hand.
Yeah, so they're pulling them all over the place, and right now the goal lead is looking a bit spicy because they are reaching that full 6 slotted looking pretty soon. JR is ready to deal some pain.
Yeah, ready to do some pain, but it looks like that T2 is going to be taken out. Not really much Fearless Esports can do.
Okay, Dao getting caught out quite a bit there before the even team fight. The Death Precipice actually connects to him as well. Xiang with the flash and dash knock up onto the Musashi, the Flaming Palms, and it is going to be Musang King getting the execute. This is the BSE we know, right?
Definitely the one we know, right? The Shadow Vanguard getting that pick off onto Dao. This is going to be a tough defensive hold for Fearless Esports. Let's see how they actually defend it.
Yeah, Musang King doesn't even burn the Blood Rage, right? So it's a difficult situation for the side of Fearless Esports to take it. And right now, they're just looking for an opening. And if there's no opening, doesn't matter. We'll continue to work on those structures as well. So T3 on the bot taken. They still have to deal with the Overlord as well. And T2 might be down in a bit as well.
Yeah, how many T3s would you like? Yes, I'll just take 2. Right?
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, I mean, they're just giving them out, right? You get one, and they come out with 2 of them, and I mean, the top one is still standing, but BSE right now, that was a great fight, turned it into conversions, and now this net worth lead is definitely starting to grow in favor of BSE.
Yeah, this is super suffocating for the side of Fearless Esports because we're only 13 minutes in, and at this point, 2 open lanes. BSE, they're not a team that, you know, makes too many mistakes. And right now, they're on the pathway to securing that 1-1 scoreline.
Yeah, and they're looking to strike back. I mean, we, again, expected a game 3 because Kindofu's casting, so we definitely know that's going to happen. But BSE right now have just really struck back. They've just been able to do a great job of just controlling the map, finding the right pickoff before they proceed.
Yeah, I mean, it should be an objective victory for the side of BSE, right? They have a double smite as well. So if in the event that Musang King doesn't have the smite, Zhe can come in as well. He does have the final form, or at least the second form of the jungle item as well. So it's going to be a difficult marker for Fearless Esports to kind of contest, especially later into the game.
Yeah, look at this. But Super Minions pushing the bottom lane, that's going to be uncomfortable for Fearless Esports. I feel like, hey, you really can't fight into BSE's death ball right now. They've done such a great job of just like protecting Xiong and JR with this meat shield, this like up front, just damage dealing tanks. And it's just been so difficult. But the Blazing Brilliance here just kind of pushing Jay away. But it looks like BSE are kind of attacking on all fronts.
Yeah, man, if you take a look at Fable, right? Fable now unable to kill Zhe anymore. And that's going to be a huge problem because Fable needs to be the person that melts down the tanks. And when you can't deal with Zhang Fei, you don't have any comeback at all.
Yeah, no real way. I mean, the Super Minions were pushing in the bottom lane. KK had made his way down there, but that was a little bit of like, you want to spread out Fearless Esports as much as possible so that you can get that top G3. Not the easiest thing.
Okay, we do get the stun onto the Lady Sun, but she is forced to flash out of that team fight just in case Ogren goes on top. Musang King with the slam onto Dao. Xia into the backline. Xiang as well, he gets a stun. They are not going to go down in this game 2. They take game 2, BSE.
What a great game by BSE, just being able to strike back. But actually, Dao in that last team fight, he seemed to have gone solo, tried to find Musang King, the counter, quote unquote, but Musang King was like, hey, you can't counter this. Took him out, Dao was the first to fall, and they just, the base just combo from then on.
Yeah, this is the type of the gameplay we expected out of BSC in game number 1. And they said, you know, no, we do have this. Let me show it to you right now. And they tiny series up 1-1. And now this is truly putting us in confusion, right? Who is going to take it all as they look for the first seed of the group?
Oh, confusion. I was correct on this one, right? I chose Black SHREW Esports, and that's the team that I know, right?